roll in it. You can't spell draw without putting that roll in it.
Backwards on all you rappers, raw backwards on all you rappers, raw backwards on all you rappers.
Ooh, baby, I like it. Yeah, baby, I like it.
We don't have no background music, but I guess we can edit that in later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always.
You don't want to play? You don't want to put some on? I kind of like it for the conversation to keep it G.
Man, we got what
Makes
we
it
got to
feel
talk
like
about
you're
is too deep, man. We might not need no background music, honestly, man. Today,
Twilight Zone music.
I've been wanting to get into this, and I think last year I touched on it on my B's thoughts. But we talked about the flat Earth, but we never really got into it. And I am now 10 months later, and I really feel like it needs to be talked about now. I'm not for sure saying I believe it's flat as much as I'm saying I believe we don't know what the fuck it is, and we need to talk about it. So I don't know your guys' opinions. Flat Earth.
I will say that I was on a plane on Sunday, and the thought quickly crossed my mind. I was like, you know what?
But maybe
if this
it is flat.
Not maybe. It was just, is Calvin crazy? And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know, you can't see it curve. You just see it drop. So then I was like, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what made you just even question it with just something that you saw.
I started thinking about it because it's like, you know, we don't believe it until we actually see it, but you really can't see the circle.
If
you
it's
can't see it go
round or not.
down. So who knows?
I don't know. I was in the Navy, man, and I
seen
traveled
the flat
across, you know what I mean, the oceans, and we ended up on the other side somehow from one point to another. So if it was flat for me, I'm like, I don't know how that's possible. Like, did we just? They say we went like. You see, they drew a picture of it where it's more so of an oval shape, and we basically just bounce around like that, right?
Well, I would say, like you said, you got from one point to the other.
Yeah.
I can get from one point of this room to the other, and I've noticed, like they even said, our globe. This is one big fact that they've made. And I'll start here with some of the things that changed me. Even when we look at our globe, it is a flat map that is put around a ball. Like if we untook it off of a globe and laid it out, it would still be the same map, flat. And from that map, I could get from this side, just like LAX.
Right.
I noticed like you can fly this way to here to your checkpoint, and then keep flying east and get to your destination, and then you're gonna come back west and get to your destination. But I've never even seen the footage. I wonder why we don't have the footage of a plane with a GoPro that actually flies from LAX around the Earth.
So what happens? What happens for me, for instance, like the person in the Navy ownership, when you just keep going east, and to the point you keep going so far east, you end up back west again. So you know what I mean? You could go all the way. We did it.
You guys actually were able. Now that's dope. I actually do like that because that's firsthand information. And I feel like that's something that needs to be talked about. Y'all actually in the Navy, and I think this is dope because I was going to join the Navy. Y'all actually were able to fly, actually not fly. You guys actually were in a boat and went around the entire globe.
Some of them go around the horn. That's called going around the horn.
It's going around the whole entire globe.
It's going to go around the horn, like when they first commission ships, they do it.
Now, was there ever a time when, like, you guys were ever upside down? Like, in your course around the Earth, did you guys have to buckle up? Like, when it's like, hey, when we get to about going through Antarctica, the boat is now upside down.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna go up and around, and everybody needs.
We never lost a sense of like gravity, if you will. Like we was just like you saying, like how they do in a spaceship.
Yeah. Like
we just floating and shit. We upside down right now.
You guys are coming over. I'd stay on the boat, and I think they showed this footage too. Like even they Bill Nye the Science Guy had got into it with B.O.B. I guess they had a big going at it because Bill Nye was trying to prove that B.O.B. was crazy for his his flat Earth thinking, and then a lot of the Bill Nye's reasoning came up very
bad,
flawed, very bad.
The funny thing about Bill Nye though is that he's no kind of credible person to speak on.
I liked him as a kid.
Okay, speaking of credible people, what do you guys think of Elon Musk? Is that how you say his name?
Elon Musk,
away from SpaceX.
Okay, did you guys hear that he sent a Tesla? I'm going to bring this back in a second. He sent a Tesla out into space.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the video of this Tesla, and it shows...
Around Earth.
You guys want to see the video?
I've already seen a lot of videos around Earth, and that's what's scary is because nobody's actually taking me up there to see it for myself.
But why do we have it so? Why is it so hard for us to believe when we can see other round planets? They showing us like the moon. You can see that. Is that not round either?
Well, I'm almost scared of that because the fact that like up until like 500 years ago, like we believed it was a flat Earth. This is actually a new way of thinking in the globe. But like even biblically, like the Bible says, like there's 4 corners of the earth. Like I'll protect you on all 4 corners. Like a globe definitely doesn't have any corners or 4 points at all. It really has like 8 or what? 6.
Unlimited points.
It's like
Mini.
So at the end of the day, it's like I would say like I've been convinced of a round Earth without actually ever seeing it with my own eyes. I can right now, like they said, I can right now take a picture, and I'm a very good artist. And I can draw a planet right now, what I can say is a planet, and show you a very realistic planet of a planet Beastune. And it's the 10th planet from here. And because you've seen all the other planets' pictures, you'd actually believe in this picture because all we've seen is pictures. We made diagrams.
I get it. But I mean, with your own eyes, you see the moon. Does the moon look flat around to you?
It looks flat to me.
It looks flat.
To me, the only reason I say that.
But it has a circular outline.
Yeah, but the funny thing to me is that you never see any other part of the moon but just the one face of it. That's so trippy.
And that is what's
I got a telescope at the crib.
I have to agree. I do. What I would say at first, I would look and say the moon does look round. It does look round.
It looks close too.
We do see just one side of the moon. It actually looks circle. It actually is a big circle.
So the sun, because the sun looks flat too.
The sun looks circle.
The sun just looks
Looks like a disc.
Can I be honest? I would actually agree. The sun does actually look round, and that would be a great way to tell me, like, hey, they're round, so the flat land I'm walking on must be round.
I don't know.
And that's the only rationale. Like, if they're round, then we must be round here. Or I would be like, why aren't those the spotlights for us? And I say, like, the biggest thing people say, like, I feel like, what would be the argument or what's the problem if it's flat or round would be the fact that if somebody knew that the earth wasn't round and that it was actually flat, why would you convince us that the earth was something it wasn't? And then from now, you can further convince me of a lot more. Once you've convinced me, hey, you live on a ball. They actually call the first pictures of the Earth that NASA took, they call it the blue marble. And it's actually like exactly what Earth looks like. It's like a blue marble. And it's like nobody's actually seen this. But when I say nobody, we do have astronauts that have been to outer space and everything. And we now have like document footage that NASA's actually like rigged a lot of the footage we seen. Like it was like green screens. We got green screen images. A lot of this.
So why would you think? I mean, would there be a purpose in lying about the Earth being flat around? I mean,
the government lies to us.
What would happen if we did say the Earth was flat? Like, why would they want to keep that a secret? Why would you think they want to keep that a secret, Dave?
I mean, I think personally probably for money. I mean, NASA's billions and billions of dollars of our money goes to NASA.
Makes sense.
So I mean, if it was flat and everything was contained within the firmament, as they say, then yeah, that would be very wise of them to keep it shut so they keep on getting this bread.
That word,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, do you want to explain that word, the firmament, for people that don't know?
The firmament, I want to say
I'm Bible study B. So
I want to say it's a biblical term, but the firmament would be like the glass dome that's supposedly over the flat Earth. And
I've never heard it really put like that, but I think that's actually dope. In the Bible. It does say that Earth is over it, like it says is a firmament that He brought to protect it. That and I think it's actually funny when you put it in that context. I'll think about like Babel or like the city of Babel in like the Bible. They tried to build like a tower to God, not actually trying to fly. What that means in their perspective, they felt as though we can reach God if we got close enough up there. I can say even at times I felt like the moon today, I don't know why, it looks extra close.
It looks so close.
It's
looks
weird. Like
reach
if
up and
we
grab
had
it
a
almost.
street to drive on, we could get there in about 4-6 hours.
And back to like what Dave was saying, it makes great points. At NASA, they can lose a lot of money. It's like the girl who take pictures kind of like with her back arch, you know what I mean? It look round, but she actually show you how flat that is. She'll never make money from Instagram again.
No, don't be.
The perception goes. They catfished us to Earth.
Did they catfish? Did they get the cash? They get the Earth some cheeks. That's what they're saying. Is it flat? Is it got that bubble on
Did
it?
you see
Okay.
the guy from NASA that says how he edits in the clouds because you can't really see clouds in the video? So he's actually the one that digitally edits in the
That's
clouds
so
for
sad.
the NASA images we see. He says the images can't be authentic; they're all Photoshop.
Yeah, the trippy thing about the pictures is that you can't see with your eyes naturally curve or no curve or whatever that far. So how can you from space see all the way through the whole atmosphere with no clouds, no atmospheric blur? It's just weird. And I was going to ask you, Rich, since you was in the Navy, a lot of people say that the Earth's curve, you shouldn't be able to see some things from a certain distance. Like they can see the Chicago skyline or something from what should be too far away. With the Earth's curve, you shouldn't be able to see it. So I was going to ask you, when you're out at sea, they say that if you're out at sea and you have a telescope, what you think is the horizon, if you get a telescope, you can actually see further. It's really not the horizon that you're seeing. So if let's just say if you see a boat go over the horizon, you get a telescope, you can see that boat again. It's not really gone over what you would think is the curve.
It's a curve.
It's lost in depth. Like if I guess he's saying in
You can only see so far due to conditions,
our
unless you
eyes-
have help optically.
Yeah, our eyes can only see so far. So in perspective, I guess what he's saying, if we took a boat and we sailed out from the beach and straight out, it would appear that the boat disappears. But if I was to get a telescope
You can
and
see
I
it again.
was to zoom in further, the boat would still be right there. It's
So
just
you
not
saying
gone.
at some point it should
It should disappear over around Earth, and everybody
Okay.
should have to
But-
hold on. Everybody should have to strap on their seatbelts because they're gonna go. It's like this is what's so scary. This is the only thing that really fucked me up, and I just be in my high mind. Like, so like on The Simpsons, you know, they have like funny episodes where they dig through the Earth, and you know, it's
Right.
like they go through it in the cities and all this, and they come out on the other side, and you're in China. You know what I mean? If I was to really do this though, and this wasn't a cartoon, it begs the question: we're on around Earth. If I dig straight through the ground and come out on the other side, do I come out feet first or head first?
Good question. Good question.
And do I come out like this, and do I have to cartwell over now because I went
You went
down?
down.
I went down this way.
And now
like
you're
the
on the other
elevator. When I
side.
get to the other side of the earth, I'm now supposed to be upside down. So when I get down there, it's like I gotta push myself out because gravity's gonna be pushing me down
Right.
now. I might
Right.
not even be able to get out the hole.
I feel you. You want to grab? You want to take us off the stand? So
I'm really hot right now with that because I just fucked myself up.
Okay.
Like, how
so,
do you
okay,
do
so
that?
okay, so here's my thing. Then. Okay, so do you guys not believe that the Earth doesn't rotate? Then, so how would you explain seasons? Do like the I guess you would say the universe like rotate around us because we're flat. Are we standing still this whole time, or if it's just like spinning like a
When
saucer?
is the last time you've seen 4 seasons? When's the last time you?
Well,
seen
I'm just
more
saying in some parts of the world though.
That's true. There is four
And-
seasons
and-
left.
four seasons, though.
in some parts of the world, they get sunshine for like 3 months straight.
Yeah.
And like, what is that anomaly about? Why does the sun always shine on them if it's constantly?
Are you saying like in
spinning?
Alaska when it's dark for a certain like they have so many days and nights before they have no sunshine?
Where is their sun that's constantly just spinning around our Earth?
Is it
should be there
because the
every-
Earth at that time is not in the sun's like trajectory, so it's on the other side of the sun, so the sun's not hitting it,
I
right?
believe
That's what we're told. Yeah, that's what they tell
That's
us.
what we that's
I
what we
believe-
tell.
That's
That's
what
what
they
we
say.
told. You see?
I believe it's on a.
How do you
cold-
explain that though?
I'd say it's on a cold timer. When I look at the sky, and this is what they say, you got to kind of go back before what you were taught and be like, if we were really Neanderthals, like, what would you see? If I looked up at the sky, we almost all would, I believe, would agree. The sky is moving. We're not moving. It does it. Like, I would feel movement. Like in a car, I feel every turn. I feel every speed change. We had no time on this planet at any time feel turbulence from how fast we're spinning. We're spinning so fast. We're spinning like faster than a speeding bullet. 'Cause
I want to
that's how-
say it's supposed to be like very fast, maybe 10,000 miles an hour. I forget
Maybe
what the rotation. It's
impossibly
something fast to where why the hell ain't we flying off of this ball?
But if I look up at the sky, it almost looks like what I put on for my child. Like when I turn on the little mobile.
if you
and
watch,
I let the lights show go, and it spins around a nice.
yeah,
colorful
if you
blend
watch a
of
time lapse
stars.
video of the sky, like I mean, it's just keeps swirling in circles, swirling in circles. It's just kind of trippy. It does appear on time lapse video that the sky is the stars.
So that's
in
what
the
I'm
sky
saying.
is
So
moving.
if the Earth is flat, so are we? So you're saying we're not moving? You're saying the Earth is just moving?
I don't know, but that's just what it
What
looks like. That's just what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Okay. Yeah. I definitely believe.
And
that.
I think if you
I
ask a
like that.
child, because I've asked my child, just asking, Do you think the moon is far close? You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
close. You think that the Earth is spinning really fast? No, I feel like we're keeping still. Just based off your natural instincts without any doctrination or anything from outside,
Right.
you feel like you're stationary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all fucked up over it. I don't like the lie that's been told because that's what fucked me up. My issue's not even going to be, because I'll say like this, honestly, because I don't see it.